The Year of Luigi continues, with the green-clothed plumber teaming up with his iconic brother in another installment of the Mario and Luigi RPG series, Mario and Luigi Dream Team. Though the prospects of the brothers returning for another RPG romp sounds dreamy enough, the title is actually a reference to the game's central theme. After a slow start, Dream Team quickly revs up the ingenuity, delivering the kind of creative and delightful experience we've come to expect from the franchise. The heroes of the Mushroom Kingdom are on a well-deserved vacation to Pillow Island when their fantasy getaway quickly turns into a nightmare. It's up to Mario and Luigi to set things right again, and the only way to do so is to venture into the deep recesses of Luigi's dreams. The game splits your time spent between the real world and the dream world, each with their unique playstyles, and jumping back and forth between the two keeps things fresh. A majority of the game takes place in the brothers' waking moments, with Mario and Luigi touring the various regions of Pillow Island, fighting enemies, solving puzzles, and engaging with the local denizens. These portions of the game feel like a more traditional RPG in structure and allow the brothers to move around 3D environments. However, you'll often find yourself tapping into the game's biggest hook, diving into Luigi's dream world. It's here that the game becomes more of a traditional 2D platformer, with Mario and Luigi having to overcome enemies and obstacles in order to reach the level's goal. The jumping mechanics aren't as smooth as they could be, especially when you have to perform each brother's jumps with a separate button, but the way you cooperate to solve puzzles helps make up for this small shortcoming. Mario will often need to team up with his dreaming bro to perform special abilities while navigating the level. These range from a green clone cyclone to pulling on the sleeping Luigi's mustache to launch Mario to new heights, or even rubbing his nose to make him sneeze, blowing objects in the background into the foreground. Other abilities like altering the flow of time or adjusting gravitational forces round out an exceptionally interesting set of skills. The same type of team-based cooperation crosses over into the real world too. Despite being bound to reality, these skills are almost equally ridiculous and just as addictive and fun to use. By continuously introducing new mechanics at every major turn, the game never gets stale or repetitive. It all makes exploring Pillow Island one of the highlights of the experience. The same mentality carries over into the battles. Mario and Luigi possess a handful of basic attacks that can get the job done, but over the course of the game you unlock new special attacks, where the brothers combine their powers for a variety of unique offensive maneuvers, each more outrageous than the next. Some of them, like rolling up a ball of Luigi's, make good use of the 3DS's unique features. Some battles even turn the 3DS on its side, literally, putting a clever spin on the battle system. In the real world, Mario and Luigi fight as separate entities, but in the dream world, you fight as Mario, infused with the powers of the dream incarnation of Luigi. This shifts the dynamics of each battle just enough to play into the unique styles of the world, but is similar enough that there isn't a steep learning curve. Still, it'll take a bit of experience to read your opponent's signals. Dream Team is all about learning an enemy's tells and then taking advantage of them. For example, in the early battles, you only have to look at your foe's eyes to tell which brother they will attack. Though this seems simple enough, later enemies aren't so transparent. There are items and abilities that will buy you time to sit back and try to learn each enemy's signs, but it can be tricky. The real challenge lies in the boss encounters. It's unusual that a single regular scrap will spell your doom if you're properly prepared, but the difficulty spikes greatly with each new boss. However, Nintendo throws less skilled or less patient players a bone. Should you fall during any battle, you can immediately retry it, or temporarily activate easy mode encounter if you just want to advance. The inclusion of these easy mode options has drawn some criticism, but at least this time it's not just a way to bypass a hurdle. Sure, you can rely on it to easily overcome a tough battle, but easy mode also serves up an advanced tutorial that will try to actually teach you how to become better at handling that specific encounter. Whether it dishes out hints or slows down the pace of battle, it's a useful teaching tool for players who want to get the most out of the game. There's still a need to grind experience and level up every now and then if you don't want to rely on the easy mode. It never gets too tedious, but besides increasing things like strength and the humorously named mustache stat, there isn't much depth to the RPG elements. The real appeal of the game lies in its deep combat system, great sense of exploration, and humorous narrative elements. While Dream Team features a charming tale, the game's writing can be hit or miss at times when it comes to humor. That being said, there are more than a few chuckles to be had in the game's best moments, and it's packed full of self-references and parody to keep the mood lighthearted. It's not the best effort from the series, but it's still a very enjoyable story. It's hard to believe that a new Mario and Luigi is coming out so soon after the latest Paper Mario hit late last year, but somehow Nintendo managed to pull off yet another worthwhile Mario RPG. The tried and true formula might taste stale for some veterans, but it's still an engrossing game, well suited for those seeking a solid RPG experience.